And this is Declan's. So Declan's helping Par on the chat out with a rule set that he's written called, I think it's Par Wars at the minute, but it's a 15 fantasy game, and it's a really good game actually. It's really well designed, and basically the way the game works is you design your own units, you give them the keywords, you give them whatever. So you can build your own army, you can be whatever race you want. It's just whatever miniatures you can find, you shove them in and you make your own units. So Declan's found these old Spartans and Saxon warriors and just turned them into an army. And they look really good. They're fantastic.
I think we said in the first video we did when we were looking at 15mm models.
Yeah.
You have to remember they are 15mm models.
Yes.
These are the size of your thumbnail, probably a bit bigger than that, but they're not a lot bigger.
No.
To get any detail on that just blows my mind.
Yeah. He's very talented, Declan is, and the basing on these as well is fantastic. I think this is some of the horse cavalry that he's got. You can see he's used the Crackle Earth effect on them, and they just look really, really good. I think he said these are actually old miniatures that he just had lying around, and then when Par released the rules, he decided that he'd paint them up for the game because he wasn't going to use them for anything else.
They are really cool. And he's done a great job that you can pick out. I know it sounds silly, but you can pick out what everything is easily on the fig. And on the other ones where he's putting the Spartan marking on the shield. It's fantastic.
Freehand on 15mm. It's impressive.
Yeah,
it is.
And I think these are the Saxon warriors that he's using in the army. So I think he's just using them as warriors. But yeah,
nice.
The crackle paint looks really good at that scale.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. And I think it's like you said, Dave, that you've got to remember that it's 15mm, so these are half the size of a Warhammer miniature. So that says it all, really.
Yeah.
Well, it's less than half now, because we're
less,
more in
because they're hero scale, aren't they? So
scale now than like 28. So yeah, I can't say I would love to paint 15mm models.
Quite fun, actually.
Looks so tiny.
Yeah, I mean, I paint a lot of 6mm, and I generally find it easier than painting 28mm, because with 6mm you're painting the block colours. So I do Napoleonics. So with the British infantry, you paint the red shirts, you paint the white trousers, you're a crossbelt, bit of pink for the face, black hat. That's it. You're done. You don't do any shading. You don't do any highlighting. That's it.
So I pretty much do my 28mm models as well.
I think these are... I can't tell what weapons they are. I think they're crossbows on horse. Or they could be javelins, but yeah.
Yeah, they look like javelins to me.
Yeah, and these are skirmish cavalry, so they're 1 to a base, I think, and then normal cavalry are supposed to be 2 to a base. So, yeah.
As a very new Warhammer player who has only ever known round bases, the square bases just look wrong to me. I know that they're not the same. Square bases are great. When you round them up, square bases look amazing. Dave will back me up on this. The old Warhammer fantasy game was fantastic for the effect of seeing like 50 miniatures in a regiment. It was great.
I agree. I had an Empire army that was like more like a lands-necked army. So it was like pike and shot. So I had rows of I think I was 2nd or 3rd Empire spearmen with the spears either poking forward or held straight up like they were marching. And they looked. My army was not well painted, but when you looked at the armies on the field, they were epic. The sweep of it was fantastic.
Yeah. That's for any scale as well. Anything where you got ranked up models in like this, I think it always looks good.
I would like to see a table set up for a game.
I can send you a picture of one.
People still play. Well, they play 9th Age, which is
Yeah, I've not heard great things about 9th Age, but I'll keep meaning to look at it. But
I don't know.
Right, forgive me, Ed.
This looks like sensible things from a sensible army.
I don't know what spell this is though, so you have to fill me in on that.
Oh, what's it called? Sanctum of Amintok or something. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Circle of blue and red.
Yeah.
Sanctum of blue and red. Yeah. Is yours the Sanctum of white and blacktop, or is it?
I've realised that
mine's something of a box.
I've realised that my army's colour scheme is red, white, and blue,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is very, very traditional.
And
I've decided to
brown,
lean
brown.
into it and do a French accent whenever I'm playing.
Or American.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. their stock has gone down recently.
Well, yeah. Well, now that they're releasing the giant kangaroos, they could always give them Australian accents. That would be
good.
That would be quite.
Yeah,
fun.
but elves are supposed to be sophisticated but horrifyingly flawed.
Are you
which is not
suggesting
American.
Australians aren't sophisticated, Dave?
Yes.
Okay, so as part of our international YouTube community, we've now attacked the Americans and the Australians. I think that's probably,
Yeah.
I was working my way towards the French.
I was going to say, if we get China in, we've got half the country, half the world done.
Well, to be fair to Ed, he could have picked British, but he steered away from that.
No, definitely not.
Oh, we both. No one wants to be British anymore, do they?
Talking about degrading stocks.
Right, Ed, how did you do that snow effect?
Oh, that's just Valhalla and Blizzard out of the pot. But if you put some hard coat, some gloss varnish over it, it makes it look like it's melting.
It is
That's
stunning, cool. And the way it looks like you've got little pools of water between the rocks as well.
Yeah, that's just Nuln Oil gloss. It's just the gloss,
Oh my
gloss
gosh,
shade.
really?
Yeah, it's really easy
I've
to
never
do.
Used it.
I love that stuff. It's so good on armor to make the armor look like polished. And I use it all the time on bases to indicate wetness, because my Nurgles are all on like swampy bases, so it's all muddy and gross and pools of like ooze. And I like the idea that this is like the first thaw is coming in and like melting away the snow over the ruined city, and so now's the time for the elves to march off. Like it's not like winter in Russia anymore, you know what I mean? So they can go on the offensive again. That's my headcanon for it.
This is the rune of petrification.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
I think this is a really underrated spell. I never see this in people's lists, but I think it's awesome.
I agree with you. I've got it in one of my lists. I think it's going to be an awesome.
Well, that's really
this
cool.
Along with Teclis's like War Scroll spell, you're really doing a lot of AoE damage to a lot of people really quickly.
Yeah. No,
I really like the mud that I used for this is Vallejo ground texture white pumice. So it comes out of the pot like totally white.
Yeah.
And then I just color it with contrast paints. So that's just Wildwood Brown over white texture paint. And I love it because you get a huge pot of texture paint for the same price as a GW pot of colored texture paint. And it's way more versatile. I really recommend that to people. I've used it to do like pretty good. Oh yeah, perfect.
I'll put a link in the description so people know where to get it from.
Yeah, it's great.
Sarah, do you sell it?
Not yet. But we are, hopefully having bigger plans for our store soon. So I will let you know.
Ooh. Watch this space.
I was in episode 1. I've missed episode 2 and 3, and now we're doing product advice
and lots of advertisement.
Wow.
To be fair, you can get the same effect if you use GW texture paints, but just prime it. Like do the texture paint first.
Yeah.
And then prime it white. Really good technique. I really recommend that to people.
I do it for my desert bases. I use the Sterling Mud and is it a Grelin Earth, and then I paint all that in Xandri Dust. Put a wash over it of Agrax Earthshade, and then Morgas Bone, dry brush, and then a Screaming. Is it Screaming Soul or Wraithbone final highlight, and it looks like a desert. I'm quite pleased with it. But yeah.
This is really good for me because I have so much basing to do. It's unbelievable.
Basing used to be my least favorite part because I could never get anything looking the way I wanted it to. But I think the basing on these guys is coming out really good, so I'm really pleased.
Yeah, I really love the pebbles.
Yeah, they're really good. Really
That's
good.
Texture Roller from Green Stuff World.
Oh,
It's like a
yes.
rolling pin with the texture imprinted on it, and then you just roll over some green stuff or some milliput or something, and when it sets, you've got a nice solid base.
Oh wow, okay.
Can I just make reference here to milliput, because I'm 44 years old. I've never heard of milliput.
No, you're not.
Until recently, honestly, until recently when I was asking about sticking bits together. And someone recommended it. Oh my God, it's changed my life. I use it everywhere for everything now. You know, honestly, I ran out of toilet paper the other day. Milliput was the answer. It does anything. And it dries like nothing I've ever seen. You know,
it's very similar to green stuff, Sarah. It's like a thing that, like a putty that hardens really good.
Okay. I'll have a look.
That looks really cool, Ed. It looks
does.
really good.
It does.
And like looking at it, I don't know if you intended this, but I like the fact that that could easily with a few tweaks be in a Slanesh army.
That wasn't intentional, though. I have no intention to do a Slanesh army, no matter how hard you prod me.
No, it's just the scheme that you've used, especially the portal itself.
Yeah.
I ended up getting a second Umbral spell portal for this army because I've already got one, but I painted it Nurgle themed, and that one I painted like the Looney Tunes intro, like the orange. Yeah. I really love spell portals. They're like one of my favorite models. I just love how simple but cool they are.
I think one of the best bits of this is when I zoom in. This bit here, you've picked out the frame in white as it's coming through through those clouds. I think that's really, really, really good. Like the attention to detail on there is fantastic, and I really love that.
This is why it takes me so long to paint everything. Cause I'm going through meticulously picking out every tiny detail, like the smallest brush in my kit.
Oh, it pays off. It's good. It's really good.
This was a really fun one to tinker with. I painted that model start to finish while watching season 1 of Murder, She Wrote.
Wow.
A little background information for you.
That is the best show in the world.
Having that, Ed.
God, Ed, I'm envious of your skill. Really cool. Is that the same effect you've done on the base there? The like gloss null oil again?
Yeah, they're all done the same. I also painted the gloss onto the crystal. It doesn't really show in the photos, but the idea is that when you're 3 feet away on the table, it will naturally highlight certain panels of the diamond shape and make it look a bit better. I couldn't bring myself to do gradients on every facet of this diamond, so I ended up just edge highlighting the whole thing and then painting it with hard coat. If I had more time and patience, I might have done that, but it would have just taken too much out of me.
No, it's good. It's really paid off. It's beautiful work. It really is.
Yeah.
Might have to get you paint one of my models as well. Maybe I'll just kind of not paint any model myself and just kind of hand them off to people that I admire.
You could have
Episode 5, Peter's painting challenge. I'm going to give you all a model.
You've each got a unit from my army. Here you go.
You've got 2 weeks.
You could do it with like a kill team.
These are the Hessian twin stones, aren't they?
Yeah. Cornerstone of any list that doesn't have Teclis in it, basically.
Yeah.
The arsehole wizard, as you call him.
Oh, I love him. He's great. I want him to do. I want to do him next, but the weather has been so awful for priming, and I'm so scared I'll get an awkward texture on it if I prime it out in the fog. So I'm holding off, but I'd love to do him next.
I've just started. Yeah.
I think I'm a bit screwed for next month because I've run out of primed elves. And the weather has just been awful. So next week it might be like a Blood Bowl team for me, something that's already primed sitting on my shelf.
Or Peter sends you some primed models.
There you go. I've got tons of them, Ed. Tons of them. Have whatever you want. And this is, I like how you just set
that's
this
so
up
good.
just to show it all off. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I wanted to show the scale. So I did one of these was in last month's video, and I finished the other two this month.
in love. I'm so in love with that model.
I really love their end of spell pack. All of them look cool. Usually there's like a one end of spell in a pack that I think looks kind of like, I don't know.
Derpy.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just doesn't fit with the rest of the aesthetic. But all of theirs look pretty cool.
Part of the Chaos Army.
Yeah, it does. It looks like that, doesn't it?
Like it should be part of the Chaos Army. They look that bad. Yeah.
Oof! Come on. How big a unit can you get in that thing? It doesn't look that big.
Yeah, it's not super big. You can't get Teclis in it. And that's all that matters. You can so you can't fit a unit of 10 wardens in, but you can fit like 9 wardens in, and they are technically a wizard, so they can technically cast it. And there's nothing in its war scroll. Oh, it's very cheesy. It's Gorgonzola level. And there's nothing in the war scroll to say you can't move these with the unit when they move.
Oh god.
Because it just becomes part of the unit. It doesn't say it has to stay in the same place. So if you lose one warden, just bunker up and charge across the table.
Ed, I'm never playing your AOS.
Ed, can you take a Dark Elf Sorceress ally and shank one of the wardens?
No, the only ally you can have in Lumineth are the Deepkin, who we tried to genocide at some point.
That makes no sense.
It makes absolutely no sense at all. You can't have like Glade Guard or Alariel or anything like that, like actual elves, but you can't have the sea elves who just loathe you. So stupid.